How's it going, Pisces community? You know who it is. It's Soul Tigress with a special story for this wonderful frequency. Now, before we get everything started, I want to start off by saying thank you for your time, your energy, and your patience as I navigate the story between the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and everything in between. Keep in mind that this is a safe and sacred space where we call in the angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy to come on in and be the guides and protectors of all the positive messages that are going to come out. Now, with that being said, let me be upfront and just let you know that this is not love tarot here. This channel is geared around self-empowerment. And what that means to me is for us to build the stepping stones to get closer to our soul being, which helps align us with a higher power. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start talking about the vibe for the Pisces frequency. Oh my goodness, I did not write this down, but after the last deck here, the Oracle deck was cleansed, I seen some doors, and I feel like you have a direct energy in a sense that's kind of working against you. They are setting up little traps in a sense for you and trying to have you fall through these trap doors of theirs. I'm not sure what's going on. So some of the stuff that I did pick up that I did write down is weathering life's bipolarness. Give yourself time to cleanse out. Release the emotional buildup you have in you from all the uncertainty that is around you. And what I mean, Pisces, is a lot of times when we have emotional buildups, we can try and do our shower meditation cleanses. We can try and take many baths, step into many rivers or many lakes, or even try and get grounded in nature. But if you are holding in everything, the cleanses only do so much when it comes to that way of cleansing. A lot of times you have to have a good cry. You have to really release it from in here. And it could be done with journaling, taking an evening to yourself and journaling about the things that are really bothering you at the core. And giving yourself permission to release it, giving yourself permission to feel it, giving yourself permission to start to work through it. And that's what happens when we start to look at how we feel, especially the things that are really bothering us here at the core. The flow of life is living, breathing. It's an organism. Growth and change is what is always going to be a part of this life. Just know change is not meant to make you feel less of a person. It's meant to help you grow and help you continue to spiritually evolve. Now, Pisces. A lot of us go through this, but having control of everything, it can be an illusion that we gravitate to for comfort for ourselves. Be open to operating / moving out of your comfort zone. Being open to this, moving out of the comfort zone, may feel like life isn't flowing against you as much. Whoever that you're going through this meat grinder with is meant to help you recognize how much you take care of things. Now, I just want to back to the part where life is a living, breathing organism. It really, really is. And if you tend to hold yourself back from life, it tends to take away from our energy in a sense. That's why I say life is like a breathing, evolving, living organism that we have stepped into with this kind of experience. I don't know how else to explain it, but this is what's given to me. And when you hold yourself back, when you close yourself off from the flow of life. It feels like literally life is against you at that point. The divine, your angels, your ancestors, ain't nobody got your back at that point. Well, it's because you've blocked yourself off from everything. Yes, uncertainty sucks, especially when we don't know what it's going to bring 6 months from now. But that's when we look at it with the anxieties of wishing to control everything. That's us being closed off. If you can open up to the flow that what's going to happen is meant to happen and seeing it as a new adventure, then you're able to step back from the anxieties and you're able to open up to the flow of karma and dharma. And when you can step back and go with the flow, you're literally able to witness these two energies at work with the things that you're going through. Patience, 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 patience is going to be the biggest key here for you, Pisces, for yourself. And you may have to ignore whoever, whatever is trying to get you to fall through these trap doors. So let's go ahead and get started with the introduction. You know what, Pisces? I forgot to say thank you. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your patience, because this story did take some time to come out. And I do apologize that it's been a while, but I really had to make sure that the timing was right. Everything felt like it was matching up for your energy in particular. I could have tried to force this story to come out, but then it wouldn't be truly authentic for you. Because then me forcing stuff to come out is me working in my anxieties, opposed to being open to the flow of when it's supposed to come out. You ever have an appointment that canceled on you and you were originally upset, but then the date that appointment ended up being rescheduled on actually was a better day for you? That's kind of like the example I'm told to give you, kind of thing. This is why going with the flow and being patient is really important right now. And I feel like that's going to help your anxieties, because there's a lot of anxieties in this frequency. So let's get started. Divine and universal energy. What is it that needs to come out for the Pisces community? Wisdom. Reaching for your wisdom within. Accepting that you are just that smart, that you do see what's going on. Could be in the dark. What others are doing in the dark around you. Ooh, what else? Balance. Along with the darkness, balance is something that you're not seeing. You're not seeing whatever this situation is, this meat grinder that you're in with whoever, whatever it is, that is actually a part of your spiritual awakening. It's a part of you spiritually evolving. And this is what I'm feeling, a lot of that kind of energy here with the Piscean frequency right now. The reason why I say that is I notice, I don't know if y'all be able to see, but there is a rabbit right here. Can you see those ears right there? There's a rabbit right here. There we go. And there was some videos that I was watching the other day, and it was talking about the meaning of the rabbit. And if you were a 90s kid or early 2000s child, then you've most likely seen The Matrix. And you remember in the beginning, Neo had to look for the white rabbit, or the white rabbit was going to appear. And it was meaning that Neo is getting ready to awaken to something, a new truth. And I feel like that is what's happening here, but it's going through your shadow side, the side of things that you haven't been facing. And it's bringing the new balance into the different phases that you've been going through within your life, and seeing how all those phases have led you to stacking your wisdom and being able to reach for more. But it comes down to you believing in yourself, believing that this is something you deserve. Maybe it's something that we look at with gratitude. A lot of our life lessons come when our peace is rocked, and our peace is rocked by others. By others. It could be 1, 2, 3 others that you're dealing with. Maybe there's something that you're really trying to hang on to. But whatever you're trying to hang on to, Pisces, I really feel like it's one of the things that has you feeling like you'll never find peace in your life. Like things aren't going to change. Things aren't going to do more. Let me see. I think it's this card right here. Purity. I feel like whatever you're hanging on to, there could have been a lot of mistakes with it. You could have made a lot of mistakes. They could have made a lot of mistakes. But whatever it is you don't feel like somehow I'm hearing you don't feel like you deserve. And it's because of these mistakes. You feel like you don't deserve something good, that basically what you're going through is the cycle that you have to deal with. Or psycho. I should say cycle or psycho, because you're in a meat grinder right now with somebody else. And because of the choices you've made with whoever that you're dealing with, you're beating yourself up along the way. Instead of seeing, you're recognizing some of this stuff as it's not fitting you anymore. It's bothering you because you are evolving. You're starting to see what you really want. You're starting to really look at how things have been happening. And it's not the time to get hard on yourself. It's actually the time to start congratulating yourself, because you're recognizing that whatever this is, it's not for you. But you're still feeling guilty about some of the decisions that you made along with this. And that's okay. We are all meant to make mistakes, Pisces. And I feel like that's where a lot of your anxieties are coming from, is your past mistakes. Maybe you were within a group, and maybe this group helped influence a certain kind of view for you. Maybe this group not only helped influence a certain kind of view for you, but they really put things out there as it was this one way. And you could have been a little bit younger unknowingly and following the guidance, following the crowd, following the family of what they said was right. So then you started making choices that put you more, I'm going to say, in with this community. That's okay. That is okay. We have to learn through these others, and we have to learn through our mistakes. We have to learn through the things that we feel guilty about. And it's learning how to confront the fear of even looking at our guilt, to be able to learn from that and go from there. Every human makes some kind of mistake. Every human has to figure out where they want to be in life, on what side of the coin they want to be on, what they want to believe in. And it comes down to our interactions with others a lot of times. In Pisces, you are 12th house energy. Ending of old cycle, preparing for new. This is a part of your energy, is being able to put an end to the old things and being able to open up to going in a new direction. It's kind of like what is the formula for a lot of your growth in life, whether it's emotional, mental, spiritual, or even physical. Again, is being open to letting go of the old, but taking the wisdom that you learn to help go into these new adventures, these new evolvements of yourself. So Let's call in the angels of protection and spirit guides. I have another oracle deck here for the present, and this one has a guiding energy outlook that is kind of watching what's happening with this Pisces energy here. So what is it that needs to come out for the present for the Pisces community? Something's jumping out, but it's really at a distance with you. Leadership. Knowing that you have the right to lead the direction and where you go and the choices that you make as well. Tigers are known to have a very vast territory. So what this tells me is in a lot of the areas of your life, you feel like you can't take lead. Maybe it's you've always had somebody who kind of tells you what to do or has always guided you in what to do. And now it's your time to actually start to step up for you. What else needs to come out for the present? It's a lot of stuff you're not seeing here. Actually, I think this one goes here. A lot of stuff you're not seeing here. Oh, Pisces. Intuition. Karmic justice. Protection. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. I mean, y'all gotta admit something's here helping me out bring this messages. Because look at that. We kind of talked about this in the vibe here. All of these come out in reverse as well. All of them come out face down. These are all things you don't want to see. These are all things that you've been hiding from. But this is all kind of what's influencing what's happening around you. Pisces, we've talked about this before. I've always talked about this with my water signs. Do not block your intuition. The more you block your intuition, the more confusing things get for you. The more you're unable to trust in yourself. Nothing's going to change here. Nothing is going to change when it comes to karmic justice until you make those moves to start protecting yourself. How do you create protection for yourself? Well, you got to start filling out. You got to take leadership. Take leadership in how you feel and how you want to feel, where you want to be, where you want to go, what's okay. What is okay when it comes to other people's behaviors and how they treat you, and what is not okay. Those are some of the ways that we start to protect ourselves. That's also some of the ways that we start to bring karmic justice in, not only for ourselves but for others. You got to remember that we are all students and teachers for each other. That's anybody that we meet up with in this lifetime. Whether good lessons, whether bad lessons, whether beautiful lessons, whether ugly lessons, or all the lessons in between. Everybody is, again, meant to teach us, or we are meant to teach them. So there could be something where you step up for yourself and you're going to teach somebody else who's in that group that they could do something different. But whoever's setting up these trap doors for you could end up having to reap what they sow, especially if you don't fall for their tricks. So that tells me you got an insecure person who could be worried about you even leaving, worried about you doing something different. They're worried about you having a certain kind of personal power. That's what it is. Maybe you're really creative at something. There's something here that you're doing, something that you could be weaving. There's some kind of potential here. And I say that because then we have good fortune come out. Again, these cards come out in reverse. And when we talk about that other, there's something here where you influence their fortune. You influence their financial security. I don't know if you're the breadwinner here. I don't know if you're the one who has all the ideas. I don't know if you're the one who really handles everything when it comes to whoever's setting up these trap doors. But the one thing that you do know, in a sense, or they know in a sense, is there's something about you and the financial security here. This is whoever, this is what they're invested in. But there is a sense that it's a siphoning. Somehow there's a siphoning of energy that I'm seeing that's happening. But there's also a sense of them blocking you. Because if they block you from doing anything different, that means all the energy that they're siphoning from you has to stay here in whatever's happening in this situation. This is a person, place, or a thing. But again, it's all about the financial security, some kind of currency that you bring in. And this has been something that's really been talked about with this frequency, is that you always seem to have, and what I'm hearing to say is like a bully. There is always some kind of like a bully energy around you that depends on you going with the crowd. Pisces, I'm going to say something to you. This is not me trying to call y'all out. This is just what I've noticed with your frequency. Is that Pisceans, if you think of a fish generally operate in schools. And these schools of fish are ways that these fish feel protected from predators. So Pisces, a lot of times you will go along with the crowd to feel more protected. You feel like you are more liked when you're in the groove of everyone else and what everyone else is doing. There's a big fear with Piscean energy of stepping out of the crowd here. So this could be a toxic home environment. This could be a toxic workplace. This could be just somewhere that is just not the greatest, that this Pisces frequency that has a community tied to it. And that's what I'm getting. But this community, whoever it is that you report to, whoever it is that you're having to fall in line for, in a sense, they're holding you back. That's all I can say. They're holding you back. And you are not going to find peace here. That's what I get with this. Because of all these cards, again, come out in reverse, except for this one. The financial security. You have to really see how much you bring to the table here. How much you're a provider. How much you're a go-getter. That's what I get. You really need to open yourself to how much work you do with whatever this is, person, place, or thing. It could be actually how much you put up with the different phases of this. This is something that could have been or has been going around for you for months, for years. I'm not feeling like it's for days. This is something that is really established. Could be something that you always find yourself in, these type of communities as well. Something else for the present that you're not seeing is magical powers. Oh my goodness, there's a lot that you're not seeing right now, Pisces. Your intuition is tied to your magical powers. Your intuition is tied to your creativity. Your intuition is tied to your good fortune. This karmic, this justice here is tied to the protection. Your financial security is tied to that protection. And the thing that you've tossed out the door is the very thing that makes you very special, Pisces. And that goes beyond your intuition. This goes with how you can connect with others. You just have to find, what I'm hearing is the right community to connect with. What you deserve. not what you have to put up with. That's what I get from this. And your magical powers, again, it goes... I can't really speak upon Piscean magical power because it's hard. I'm not a Pisces. All I know is for Pisces, they're the only zodiac sign that is fully immersed in water 24/7. You're immersed in the nectar of life. There is a certain attunement that you have to the divine, but it comes down to your transcendence type of energy, and that is all felt from within here. That is the biggest booster of your magical powers. So your magic really happens when you get solidified in what you believe in, especially if you start to align with higher powers. And I say the higher powers because this has to go into the air. It flies. It's not on the ground. It's not in the water. It's not cooking something up. But this is something that goes through the air. And the higher you go, the more you can start to get in touch with that divine. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Just like you, I am always evolving. Just like you, I am still understanding why stuff is happening, why it's meant to happen. But for you here, if you can make it past this community, oh man, there's something, a transcendence type of energy within you that is going to be awakened. That direct connection that you have with the divine, it's going to be even stronger. So some more stuff we're not seeing is the emotional balance here between what you bring in but also what you deserve. Knowledge and equilibrium. Some other things you're not seeing here. Again, you have knowledge, wisdom popping out here. We need some kind of equalness. And this equilibrium, I really feel like it's cleansing out. Because look at the shells, look at the water here. Cleansing out, bringing yourself to an emotional balance. Your emotions are tied to your superpowers as well. That's what helps you fill out the room. That's what helps you get in touch with your intuition, your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, all that stuff as well. But you have to clear out the confusion around this situation that you have happening with this person, place, or thing that has you in the meat grinder right now. Alright, so let's go ahead and go into the block. Angels of protection, divine and universal energy. Please help protect us as we navigate the block here for the Pisces energy. What is it that needs to come out? I don't know if y'all are seeing this, but all of your cards are coming out face down. So two things right off the bat. We have the Two of Wands and the Five of Swords. What to put down. Five of Swords energy. What to put down. What to walk away from. Two of Wands, overlooking what you've created. Looking at the world. Looking at where you've been as well. That's the thing that you're having a hard time with, is facing if you have the strength to put it down, to start to go somewhere different. I think that you're afraid of the karma that's going to come along with it. And that by karma, what I'm hearing is repercussions. Repercussions, it could be from whoever these others are. So remember, it could be more than one person involved in all this right here. It's a community. I don't know if you're afraid of what they're gonna say, but you really feel like there's gonna be a lot of negative judgment on you. I really feel like you have a fear of the things that they're going to say about you if you were to do something different. Let's go for a clarity card on this Knight of Swords. Oh my goodness, look at how that fell out. The Fool. So the Fool, you are unpredictable, open, spontaneous, adventurous, a free spirit, and a dreamer. That's Pisces, a dreamer right there. You are free of responsibility by choice and do not like restrictions. You have the soul of an entrepreneur. Signifies the start of a new phase in life. Trust in your own ideas and plans no matter what others say. They want you to really lead off. And this Knight of Swords energy. Knight of Swords is usually a pretty fast energy in the original tarot deck as well. Let's see what this other fell on. Oh, Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. We have the Star energy and upright. Wow, for the block and clarification for this Knight of Swords, you get two really good cards. And upright. And you know, these two cards heavily represented by Aquarius energy. And Aquarius energy is all about being your authentic self, bringing love into your authentic self. It also talks about, because we got Uranus energy here, which shows us an area of life where one can express originality as well as anticipate sudden dramatic changes. But it used to be governed by Saturn's energy, and Saturn's like resisting a lot of change here as well. And I feel like it's kind of like a teeter-totter of both. So the Star card says, the card of inspiration, insight, and hope. Dreams for the future will come true. Contact with someone who will dramatically change your life. Strong love between two people. Entering a period of serenity and satisfaction. Enjoy this calm period. Emotional needs are filled. Share your good fortune. So what this is saying to me is definitely there's a fear here that holds you back in not seeing the good fortune that is going to come about if you make these moves. But on the other side of things here, you don't see, you don't believe that things are going to change when you make these moves. What you see and what you believe is that the ill judgment, the ill things, the chaos only that is going to come if you stand up for yourself, if you're true to yourself, if you stop putting up with bullshit. That's a hard one to navigate. It is definitely hard to start standing up for yourself, especially if you're in a toxic environment and everyone's telling you you're wrong for how you feel. But this is a part of the journey of stepping into our personal power, believing in yourself. Pisces, I'm being told to take a detour really quick and just share this with you. I'm a single mom of 2 kids, raised them the whole time. Now my oldest, she's been with me on and off for the past 5 years, but I've raised her whole life except for these past 5 years where it was on and off. And in this whole time, this other parent who wasn't there for these children, because they do have the same dad, this parent wouldn't pay child support. This parent, it took them 4 years after my oldest was born to come in and see them again, and even to meet their other child that I had by them. And this parent never developed a relationship really with these children, but this parent throughout the time of me raising them, the whole time, always made sure to tell me how much of a cruddy parent I was. Even though every day I was there for these children, and 95% of these children's lives, this parent wasn't there for them. but they made sure to keep knocking me down, telling me how much of a crappy parent I was the whole time. Now, I share this with you because you could be doing the most wherever you're at, but you have somebody here who's always knocking you down every chance that they get. And this person isn't even showing up. They're not showing up. But they want to put you through their meat grinder to make you feel a type of way because they ain't doing it. They're not doing it. And they blame you for them not doing it. This could be that type of energy here. It doesn't have to be baby mama, baby daddy type of stuff. Again, this could be with a person, place, or a thing. But this is the type of energy that I'm picking up, is that whatever this is, it's quick to point the finger at you and to blame you for everything, to keep knocking you down so that you don't believe in yourself, so you don't believe in what you're doing, so you don't believe in how much you bring in. So that you always see yourself from that opposite view of all of your mistakes and everything that you did wrong, instead of seeing yourself for the trailblazer that you've been. The person who's been really compassionate, the person who's put their heart into the very things that they've been working on. You have to be careful. You have to be careful when you listen to other people, especially if they only want to highlight anything negative about you. And this could be how you step into your personal power, is letting go of these opinions of whatever they have to say about you, and just knowing what you're doing, feeling what you're doing, seeing what you're doing, what your intentions are. And as we talk about this, the Eight of Swords, that entrapment of being held on to by somebody, again, who wants to just entrap you in their mind games. That is, again, that falls onto the Judgment, that falls onto the Knight of Swords. That's something that keeps you held back from doing what you need to do, getting out of their entrapment, their mental games. And then I have a Ten of Cups, something that you don't understand, don't see, don't know. But that falls out onto this magical powers, the Fool, the Star, emotional balance, and financial security. You don't know it, you don't see it, but you can find a community to celebrate with. You can find ones who are reaching for the things that you are reaching for. But it comes down to your magical power there. It comes down to manifesting. And for you, it's manifesting through what you believe. Do you believe you can get there? Do you believe you can show up? Do you believe in what you're doing now? Do you believe in your intentions type of energy? And then I have the Ten of Swords and Justice in reverse. So what I hear is you're basically, sometimes you don't speak up, you don't say much because you're afraid of how your truth could stab others in the back. Almost like that snitching. Man, I tell you, I grew up country, I grew up ghetto, I have a little hood in me. And one thing I don't like, and excuse me if I offend anybody, but I got good reason for that, is I don't like that no snitching. Snitches get ditches or something like that. Because to me, being able to evolve myself from being a victim to a survivor to a thriver to a transcender, the way I look at snitching now is people who say not to snitch are the same people who are bullies, or who are willing to let bullies be bullies and victimize others. Basically, you keep the bullies bullying and you keep the victims being victims. And there ain't no change for anything. If bad things are happening, how do you put a stop to it? You have to start speaking up. You have to get people to be able to acknowledge things on what's going on, because they need to figure out if they need to make other choices, or if they're going to continue with that behavior, then something needs to come about. Some kind of justice, some kind of help. And a lot of times we don't believe that there's others out there that feel like us, but there are. You will be amazed. I grew up in a very low frequency community that was very, very toxic. And some of the things that I went through, other family members didn't see it as a problem. Other family members were still willing to be best friends with the people or a person that hurt me so much. And I couldn't understand that, because they always flipped it back on me. Everything was my fault. But when I got out of that community, when I got out of that frequency, and I started talking about my story to others in the same frequency that I am, at the same conscious level, couldn't believe what these others had done, how these others viewed stuff that I grew up around. They couldn't believe it. So a lot of times, Pisces, you have toxic communities that will make you feel alone. You have toxic communities who can't self-reflect. You have toxic communities who love the toxicity of it. And they are not willing to self-reflect and acknowledge the problem, because a lot of times the problems are them. And so they really do want to make you feel like you're out on your own, because they don't want you to escape them. They don't want you to prove how toxic they really are. You have to be careful. This is why a lot of your magical powers, Pisces, the magical powers that can get you to the success that you want, have to come down to what you believe. Do you really believe that this toxic community is right? Or do you believe that you deserve better, that you deserve different? That is up to you. So let's go ahead and continue. What else needs to come out? Yep, here we go. Two of Swords. How do I unblock myself? How do I unblock myself from this mental game? That's all it is, because we have the 10 of Swords, we have the Knight of Swords, we have 8 swords, we have 5 swords. All right in this area. It's a big mental game. You're gonna have to start reprogramming yourself. That's what it is. Every day that you've told yourself you're stupid and all this, you have to reprogram that and tell yourself, hey, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have to make a different investment into protecting ourselves. That's what it is. So on the days that you want to call yourself stupid for making mistakes, tell yourself, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for even trying. Thank you for wanting to do something different. Thank you for wanting to see things differently and invest in yourself differently. That's going to be the goal here. The goal and the gold. And it's going to take time. It's going to take work. But the whole thing about manifesting and reprogramming yourself, you have to start with the vision that you're almost already there. You have to see yourself already doing it, solidified in it. And then you start practicing and you get to that goal of where you see yourself. That's why this 10 of Pentacles comes out at the 10 right away. This is why the 10 of Cups comes out as the 10 right away. Because they want you to start visualizing. They want you to start manifesting it. And they want for you to see yourself there, to see what you deserve. Whew. I'm hearing last card. What is the last card for the block? Ooh. This comes on to the purity and the balance. King of Swords. I love this. I love this. I love this because what was it? We had the Knight of Swords here. Now we have the King of Swords. So much swords here. You don't feel like you have this kind of justice here. You don't feel like you have any kind of authority here. But if you look at the Ten of Pentacles and this King here, you see that animal there? Remember I told you it's all about seeing what you deserve, seeing that final outcome and working towards it, believing in it. How do you do it? You do it through a higher sovereign kind of justice. And with sovereignty, sovereign type of energy is you are stepping above the emotional turmoil kind of thing, and you're rising up into that personal power, to not making any exceptions when it comes to the rights and the wrongs of things. You know, we have this king here. This is a very intelligent king, very charismatic king. But this king doesn't take no baloney. This king can be very stubborn when it comes to their thoughts about the way they go about seeing things. And right now, there's a certain kind of stubbornness that you need to take into your thoughts, a certain kind of diplomatic side that you need to bring out for yourself when it comes to how you see things, but how you're handling things too. Because whatever this situation was, if you look at all these swords, they depend on you being mentally weak. That's what it depends on, and what you need is that mental strength of being able to take off, to lead off into that direction that you deserve, that direction where you are allowed to be. That's what I get right here. But again, it's going to take you standing up and not letting anybody else tell you different. And you're going to be called a lot of things when you do this. But again, that's why handling it as the King of Swords type of energy, where, you know what, they can go ahead and bark at you all they want, but they want to step up and bite. Oh, we're going to cut that right out kind of thing. Using that discernment, using that energy of being a diplomat, but for yourself, for the situation, for what you deserve, for what you bring in type of thing. It could be working on positive affirmations as well. I mean, just as much as we can call ourselves stupid, we can call ourselves smart. We can call ourselves courageous. Just for today, I will believe in myself. Just for today, I will love myself. Just for today, I will appreciate myself. All wonderful, positive affirmations to help start strengthening your mental side to yourself, your emotional side to you too, because a lot of times we don't know that our thoughts will influence our emotions, just like our emotions are going to influence our thoughts. It's like a going back and forth kind of thing. But right now, what I'm hearing is some good meditation, some good breathing exercises as well. Making sure to get your essentials in when it comes to hydration, when it comes to good food, but also being able to cleanse out and create that space for yourself, for you to recollect, but also cleanse out and being able to ground yourself in. It takes a lot of work. It will take a lot of work to reprogram, the mental state from being in such of the dark ego. But when you're able to reprogram it to being in the more light of the ego, also in the love, light, and compassion of the divine, again, you're not going to feel like life has it out for you so much. Again, you're going to be open to the flows of things. And when that happens, you're going to find it easier to follow your intuition and to step out of the way of karmic justice. Because right here, you being here still could be holding up the karma that needs to come in and wake these individuals up with whoever, whatever this is. Ooh, Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. You know, this kind of goes along with last month's new moon and Aries full moon and Libra interpretation. Go check that out. I know it's a little late, but better late than never. And with last month's new moon, full moon interpretation, it talks about the opinions of others and how, you know, no matter what we do, how no matter what we do, we cannot change the opinions of these others. You know, these others are going to have their own views, their own feelings, and their own agendas. And that is the biggest thing. I always want to say intentions, but it got thrown out that it's their own agendas for their own reasons. And not everybody's going to have the best agenda for you. Just know that there's a lot of people who can be jealous. There's a lot of people who could be envious. There's a lot of people who just want to sabotage others because they feel like life has it out for them. So you have to be careful with trying to fit in with the crowd sometimes, especially if it's a lower frequency. Really look at your dreams, look at your passions, look at the goals you had at one time and see if this is matching up here. If not, let that help you make the first step into getting out of the comfort zone here. We made it. We made it to the conclusion. Divine and universal energy. What is it that needs to come out for the conclusion? Ooh, so this falls onto your peace, onto how you look at the world, this karmic justice, how people are entrapping you. We have the angel of balance in reverse. And that angel of balance lands on these hostels or hostilities. These ones are knocking your balance off on purpose. They're poking at things that mess with you emotionally. They could be poking at things about your physical self. They could be poking at things of the way you view things, how you think about things, how you bring in new ideas. Remember, there's an agenda here, and their agenda is to keep you off balance. Their agenda is kind of always attacking that inner peace on you. And that is a part of what they're supposed to be doing. What? Why that? Again, because we are all students and teachers for each other. And these ones are going to push you and push you and push you to either you give up and you fall in line, or they're going to push you and push you and push you till finally you had enough and you want to make changes. That is all about spiritual evolvement. It's all about learning about ourselves as well, and also learning about what we don't have to put up with. So these ones are definitely here to help you recognize that you can step into a personal power, but you have to give yourself permission first, Pisces. And then we have Archangel Michael right here, landing on the emotions, landing on the King of Swords. One fun fact about the Archangel Michael is this is a archangel that rides out for the divine. This one is right there, hand-to-hand combat with any demons, evil, dark energy. This one doesn't think second when it comes to cutting out that type of energy, fighting that energy, facing that energy. This one is one who will conquer fears and not let fears hold them back. We have the first chakra here. When the first chakra is out of balance, it's anxiety, insecurity, fear, restlessness. When it's in balance, everything's going good. It's stability, groundness, security, and vitality. Like I said, there's something here with dealing with this energy that is directly draining you. So right here, they want you to face the fears that you have with this community. Whatever it is, it could be their outlooks, it could be how they feel about you, whatever. You need to face them for yourself with the energy that you have a right to be treated better. You have a right to be in a more stable environment. You have a right to protect yourself. And what I'm hearing to say is it doesn't have to be brought in through violence. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to go toe-to-toe with these others, because you go toe-to-toe, again, you're handing over your energy to them. This you have to meet in the love, light, and compassion, the energies that's provided by the divine. But when you do that, that doesn't mean that you it doesn't mean, what I'm hearing is that you let them punk you because you're in the divine's light, because you can't act out. No, you have to remember, part of that love, light, and compassion is having that for yourself. A part of protecting yourself is knowing when to speak up and when not to. Because you have to admit, when you're dealing with certain individuals, this kind of low frequency energy, the more you react to them, the more it feeds them your energy. So knowing when to react and knowing when not to react is going to be the balance here. All right, what else needs to come out? Ooh. And then this one wanted to go too. So then we're going up the chakras. We have the second chakra. And this is going to be Archangel Ariel. Right here. So we're working up the chakras. The second chakra is going to be our sacral energy. Our sacral energy, when it's going good and in balance, is joy, passion, healthy relationships, and creativity. When it's out of balance, it's lack of creativity, emotional instability, social dysfunction, and fear of change. I think this is what all these energies are trying to capitalize on you. I believe Archangel Ariel is also the one who represents nature. Yep, she represents nature. She oversees the protection oversees the protection and healing of animals and plants, as well as the care of the earth's elements. Goddess of the world, angel of manifestation, abundance, and prosperity. So right there, this one's letting you know it's time to heal. It is time to heal. And you have archangels here with you. When you are getting ready to face these kind of energies, when you're getting ready to go on your journey, know that you have guided energies that are around you. You may not see it because all of this lands in reverse. You may not think that you have these guided energies, but they're right here. And they're helping your journey out. Like I said, sometimes we don't know why things are happening right now. We don't know why it's taking us on a different trajectory for our path. But right here, You have divinely guided energies here who are here to help you heal, who are here to help you face the fears so that you can get started on this journey of going where you need to be. A lot of times, I call in my angels of protection. A lot of times I actually had to take a journey that consisted of about 2,000 miles. It was 30 hours, and I did it in 48 hours. And I literally, because my vehicle wasn't fully ready for this, I needed tires. I shouldn't have went with the tires I had on my vehicle, but I had no choice. It was a family emergency. So I literally prayed. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed before the journey, while on the journey, coming back from the journey, even after the journey, I prayed. And I called in the angels of protection to help guide me, to help protect me, because one of my biggest fears was having a blowout. I'm not gonna lie. And I didn't want to focus on my fears, because if I focus on my fears, then you start to gravitate that energy to you. Instead, I wanted to focus on being protected. And when I call in the angels of protection, I really opened myself to my intuition and following the guidance. Even though it was an emergency, I knew to go at least 5 under the speed limit. Even though I wanted to make the best timing, again, something told me you need to slow down. You need to go at this pace if you want to make it back and forth all in one piece, your vehicle in one piece, yada, yada, yada. One thing that I did notice, and I'm asked to tell you this about that journey, is when I went at the slower pace, opposed to trying to race off to get there, it increased my endurance, and it increased my stamina and my longevity for the drive, because I wasn't giving myself extra stress. When you want to hit everything fast, you want to be quick with it, you bring on extra stress. And then what happens is you have other people who are anxious about doing stuff, and then y'all end up fumbling into each other, and now both of you, all these other energies, are racing around, even though you guys have your own personal reasons. So what I noticed by going 5 under the speed limit is that people didn't want to stay behind me. If they were mad at me for going slow and they wanted to get on my ass to prove a point, it would last less than 60 seconds, again, because they were so high in their anxieties and trying to go fast that they didn't really have the time to put up with me. So I really think that this is creating a good, healthy pace for yourself. Pace. P-A-C-E. A good, healthy pace when it comes to going on this journey, when it comes to facing your fears, when it comes to healing. Don't think that everything has to be done by a certain time. Again, open up the flow to let it happen the way it's meant to be. Calling in your protected, guided energies, the divine energies, which are your angels, your ancestors, your spirit guides, divine and universal energy. Call them in on those tougher days. Say your prayers, your devotions. Say your positive affirmations. And just know you're going to be tested. That's something that always happens when you go off on your own. But learning how to lean on your guided energies and your intuition, I think is going to be the biggest lesson in here for the Piscean frequency when it comes to stepping into your personal power. Not just your personal power, but your magic powers too. Look at the healer of the ages. This is giving ourselves permission. Giving ourselves permission to heal. Giving ourselves permission to be able to go about and do other things, to be open to our purpose in life and where our purpose leads us. But let's go ahead and read a little bit more. So, Healer of the Ages, this powerful being brings the force of ancient wisdom and profound healing. The divine conscious pours from his hands and heart, flowing to your wish, love, and a powerful healing intention. This amazing entity is with you now, bringing the resolution to physical, mental, and emotional ills, helping to unblock stuck energy and revitalize your life force. That's weird. Oh my goodness, I have never really... So, what I can interpret from this is speaking up, speaking upon your truth, and fully believing in it, believing that you have a right to heal, you have a right to do things differently. I feel like you're gonna have a lot of constricted energies that are gonna oppose you, that are gonna try and shut down your truth. And the whole thing is they are going to try and make you feel like you're out on your own. Like the wisdom that you've gained from here to there in life is nothing. Like you haven't learned anything along the way. They may try and make you feel naive. They may try and make you feel foolish. But the whole thing is, are you going to believe them? Or do you believe in the higher power that you're being guided with? The higher power that would like to see you aligned, that would like to see you more in touch with it and with your intuition. And that higher power is asking for you to take action. Don't be confused on the action that you're going to have to take. This action may have you dealing with the darker side of things, but also the lighter side of things. Seeing how it took dancing with these energies to help you grow a relationship stronger with yourself, with the divine, with your angels and your guiding energies of your ancestors and your spiritual guides. It took, or it can take, putting down their ideas and their mental games and picking up your beliefs, picking up, tuning in to your angels, your ancestors, and your spirit guides, and tuning out to this toxic environment. What I feel like is they're really gonna try and shut you up. That's what I feel like. And that's gonna be that darker energy trying to take hold. You know, it's hard. You could feel like this is something that you faced over and over, not just with workplaces, it could be with families, it could be with friends. But the reason why you keep facing this is because you have certain energies that will use other individuals. If you want to speak on demons and angels, since we have a lot of angels here, from what I understand, demon evil energy can harbor within the very people that we associate with, whether it's family, friends, spouses, co-workers, etc., etc. And the whole thing is, if these people open up portals in their body to these energies, because from what I understand, it's a series of tests. We face series of tests from dark energies, and those series of tests to see whether we're aligned with more darker energies or we're aligned with more lighter energies. And the more you're aligned with those darker energies, the more that those people act out in that lower, darker frequency. But we have to thank the darker energies just like we thank the lighter energies. That's why I said it's a balance between both. Seeing how the influence of one helped guided you to have a stronger connection with the divine. And the whole thing is picking and choosing what you want to align with seems to be what is at your doorstep right now. And just know that, again, these darker energies that are harboring within these people, whatever they bring to you are all tests. It's all testing you into what you believe about yourself, what you believe about what you deserve. That's why having that love, compassion, and being in the light of the divine will help, especially when it comes to facing fears, facing the fears that require healing. Again, to get us going and seeing that this journey is meant and that all the actions beforehand were needed to help align you more in love, light, and compassion. So, long story short, once you get through this, if you choose to go on your journey and align more with the divine, you're going to learn about yourself. And once you complete this lesson, you will have small tests afterwards with others trying to play their mind games with you and entrap you in their mind games. But you'll be able to recognize it and you'll be able to protect yourself. But you have to go through this lesson first to learn how to protect yourself, Pisces. All right, this is going to conclude it. Thank you so much for your patience on being the last sign up this time. I really appreciate you. And I hope that this was well received. Don't forget to thank your angels, ancestors, and spirit guides for coming in and helping out with all these positive messages. And I hope that you have a most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.